Okay.
Yes, Lagos. It is an absolute pleasure to be here on Business Hub on a Tuesday. Oh, yes. And on Business Hub today, we were taking a look at, we were talking about business of food. And do you know why? Because my guest is into the food business. Well, she's a serious player in the sector. Oh. So I'm glad to have her with me. And if you are looking at, playing in the sector, this is here's where you want to be to get all that insight. And guess what? Her company just celebrated 10 years anniversary, her 10th anniversary. So there's something she must have been doing right because some people just 1 year, 2 years, I'm tired. This thing is not easy. And the economy sometimes can definitely be putting you under so much pressure. And you're like, who did I offend? Anywho's Lagos. Like I said, it is a pleasure having my guest this evening. And her name is Bimpe Osanyintuyi. She is the founder and managing director of DiosDlite Foods. Glad to have you with me this evening.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Okay, so Lagos, as always, you can also be a part of the conversation. You have questions. I'm sure you might have questions. How did she do it? How is she so how exactly has she been breaking back and all that? Well, that's what we'll be talking about this evening. And well, first off, here's how you can ask your questions. WhatsApp is the platform. The number is 0911 999 Did I get that? Did you get it? 0911 999 That's the WhatsApp number. You get to share your thoughts with me. And as much as you can, Bingo will definitely get into your questions. Just keep it food related. Let's not be asking about weird things, please. Anyways, first off, congrats on your 10th year in business. It
Thank
can
you.
have been easy.
Lots of downs, many more ups.
I like people who are actually honest. They will tell you, no, it's I've been doing this, so it's no.
No.
I like your honesty in that. I appreciate that. But I know that you play in the healthy snack space, especially
Yes.
in the food market.
Mhm.
How profitable is this?
Um, it is profitable. DiosDlite has been doing this for 10 years and we offer variation of healthy treats. It is profitable. There is a growing market. There is
Right.
a demand. People eat it for the healthier benefits. People eat it because it tastes good. Um, so
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of people who the audience, the demand is there. So it is profitable. And as long as you're doing your pricing right and you're keeping track of all of
Mm.
that, it is a profitable business.
I, I,
And for some of it, I might add, because it's also a low barrier to entry, especially for the Greek yogurt, the ingredients are few in between. So people tend to want to jump in
okay.
because it is profitable. Now, if you stay the course, is a different ballgame.
Whenever anyone hears healthy, they're like, oh goodness, that means I'm going to have to cough up a whole lot just to enjoy certain things. But it's not you don't have to break back, trust me. And if you actually are on the path to keeping healthy, you want to find those pretty nice snack
Yes.
that you can get into. And this is why I say so, because most people think that healthy foods are more expensive than the ones that, well, let me say, processed foods.
Your fast food.
And when you look at it, if I'm buying an apple and I'm spending 500 naira, and I'm buying soda and I'm spending 500 naira, I'm looking at it. Okay, soda, apple. Some people will compare the apple is not enough. It's not filling, but by the time I gulp,
Yeah, so I think also people look at how it makes them feel. So if I take soda, cold bottle of cold soda, I probably feel refreshed in a certain way, and I'm like,
Right.
for same price, I'd rather do the soda. But I think perception and people's outlook to healthy food is changing. There's a
I
direct
agree.
correlation between what I eat versus my life versus life and death versus illnesses and things that come, so sometimes when you're older and they say this, you say it's your lifestyle. So now we're a bit more aware and people are consciously making the healthier choice. So I always try to say healthier because healthy is relative to different
It's
people.
relative.
Yeah, but healthier. So instead of soda, what am I taking? Instead of ice cream, what am I taking? Because even instead of ice cream, if I'm taking Greek yogurt, there are also different Greek yogurts that might not necessarily be healthy based on what they've put in. So, but it
Oh.
is a healthier
Ah, okay. Now
option.
that's opening my because I'm always saying, oh, okay, do yogurts. But even with yogurts, you also still need to be mindful.
Yes, you have to be mindful.
Ouch. Now that's a problem.
So it does have its benefits. Obviously, you've got the protein and all of that, but
Right.
depending on what additives or what you use to flavor it and all of that, then
Okay.
it could change the course of what it was supposed to do.
Right.
But would it be as laden with sugar as your ice cream? Definitely not.
Almost
So that it
definitely
makes it
not.
a healthier option.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Ah, now that has been laid to rest. Now I can eat my yogurt, but I always will now check to be sure what it contains. Okay, so in case you're wondering why I'm always looking at her skin is popping, by the way. It's not makeup or anything. Her skin is popping. So it actually means that she's also leaving proof of what she's doing. So what you put in your body also glow makes you glow. I will just put it at that because I've been looking at her skin and it's skinning. You'll think, oh, it's makeup. No, it's just lip tints. That's all. Besides that, her skin is skinning. Anyways, let's move on back to our conversation this evening and not digress. So now let's back up to how it all started for you because with I'm sure that when you first started, you weren't thinking of making profits. It was, what was it like for you? I'd like you to walk us through that.
So when I started, it stemmed from a need of a healthier option that still satisfied the craving to indulge. So you like sweet stuff, but you know too much of it is not good. And the question is, so what else could I um, do? What else could I take?
Right.
And the typical myth is, oh, for you to be healthy, it needs to be tasteless, like bland. And it's like there must be something else I could take that won't be boring, that I would look forward to. So I remember then I bought like a small home machine from Amazon then, and I was starting to do it at home. And it was just from the home front.
Okay.
I was working in corporates then. Um, while working, I decided, you know what? I was taking it to the office, people liked it, but I decided to have a pop-up store. So I opened a pop-up store in Yaba, in the cinemas that I was on.
Okay.
So we had a stand. And then I had stuff that we used to sell. We did that for like a year plus before we moved to our first location. So I did 3 years before I finally resigned from corporate to focus on this. Because beyond the direct to consumer, I decided that I wanted to do scale. I wanted to do B2B. I wanted to go into the supermarket, and I couldn't do that at my desk.
Obviously.
With the deliveries to do.
Yes.
And I was running a very big brand in GSK then, so I was like, something's got to give. I remember wanting to leave, and they just couldn't believe I was leaving to start my business. Like, are you sure you're going to sell yogurt? Like, are you really going to sell yogurt? Like, you're leaving here to sell yogurt. But I think for me, what was important is being clear.
Right.
History, I had a trend. I understood that there was potential in this product that I wanted to sell. And I had a forecast of where I was going to. So I tested the market to an extent.
Okay.
And I knew that I needed to scale, but I couldn't do that sitting. I needed to do NAFTA and I needed to move. So there was a forecast, and here we are.
Here indeed, 10 years and counting. And it just shows that there's there's so much work. It's not that you just wake up and say, okay, I'm on to start a business
Mm-mm.
and just jump right into it. You have to think it through. I like the fact that you also just gave us this background. And I say this because um one, not everyone should start a business. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but think it through before you get into that space. It's easier to start, but to keep up the momentum.
So I think to keep up the momentum, you need to know your reason why. Because when the tough days come and the tough times come, if your why is not strong enough, you're gonna give up. If you are doing a copycat business because person A seems to be thriving and you don't know that why or what the backbone is,
Yeah.
the day you get into similar or even less problem because you don't have the wherewithal to push forth because you were copying someone and the person hasn't had that particular issue. So you don't know what and it's overwhelming you. You are likely to want to drop it all and say, I can't do this. This thing is too. But we've all had tough days. We've had days where I remember in the initial days, by the 25th, I'm punching calculator that God salaries. How am I going to pay? Where are we going to get money from? Because maybe the money has spent and we're thinking, what we expect. Like so many things, or raw materials were not enough because you had sold, they hadn't been paid, and you didn't have money to buy, and you're like, should I go to my savings? So if your reason for starting it is not driven by a why or a personal why, you're likely to say this is not working. But there's so many reasons and days I could have said it wasn't working. But I didn't throw the latch because I genuinely believed in the objective of what I wanted to do, and it's to balance taste and nutrition to create a healthy lifestyle for our consumers.
That is actually good stuff. But is there a growing population of health conscious Nigerians that actually support businesses like yours?
Definitely there is. Definitely there is. And many times the key decision makers, even for our audience, is mostly the women. So the women want to keep themselves fit, either pregnancy or just generally, I just want to be, I want to take Greek yogurt because I want to take less carbs and all of that. Then they buy it for the homes, and their husband sees it, and then the kids see it. So all of a sudden, the whole family is interested
Right.
in buying it, even though the mom is the buyer or the first point of contact. Um, Greek yogurt is delicious. It's filling. It has more protein because of the process it goes through the straining. So it has a lot of benefits and it fills you faster. So and it's multifaceted whereby you can use it to marinate your chicken or beef. You can use it for your parfaits, which is the most traditional everybody uses. Um, you can use it for your smoothies. You can use it to make sandwich with your chicken and all of that to make it sound like you could use it for so many. So a lot of families have it at home
Right.
because there's going to be something I need it for, and it's going to be a healthier option to any of the typical
Than
traditional.
your usual mayo, salad
Exactly.
cream that could be very
Exactly.
fattening.
Yes.
All that process,
Yeah.
anyways. Let's not get
So
into
it
that.
is growing, and it tastes delicious. So you also have the consumer audience that are not looking to be healthier because they're healthy, but it just generally tastes good. So that's we also have that audience as well who just like good stuff. So if you
And I
take
want you
it,
to
yeah,
stick
and you just
to,
want to take it and enjoying it.
Mhm.
So there are a lot of cafes going in that it's just indulgent. Like by the time you put the strawberries, your apples, and all of that,
It
you're not
becomes
even
a heaven.
necessarily taking it because it's healthy at that point. You just want this good stuff.
Indeed.
In your mind, you're not thinking healthy. You're just thinking this
I
looks
like
good.
this, so let's enjoy
Exactly.
it. What now? Let's move away from, yeah, we're enjoying it, but when it comes to actually getting the raw materials, do we have it here or do we always, for your business, for what you do you have to, do you source your materials here or do you most of the time have to source from other parts of the world? Basically, do you import?
Currently we do, I would say like 95% local.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
we do. When we started, we didn't do local, but
Okay.
Inflation, forex was a headache. But now, in supporting the Nigerian economy, there are a lot of producers of the materials who are doing much better,
Awesome.
even in terms of the core raw material for our Greek yogurt, which is milk. So we do most locally. There's a lot of inflation in terms of prices skyrocketing, and even when it comes down, the price don't come down. Price doesn't come down with it. So, as a finished goods producer of a product, it's many consumers are easier to say, oh, a particular milk brand is going up, but we're still buying it. But when you increase your price on the other end, then forgetting that you increase is
Also,
an input into this.
mm,
I think that disconnect is there's a disconnect is the point. That is the reality of so you're constantly so for us at DiosDlite on a monthly, we're constantly checking the price to say what we bought last month, what is the impact on our P&L, what does it look like? Did it affect your margins? Like on a constant because you go to the market today, it's a different price. You go to the market like every other day, including your apple. Prices of apples, like you mentioned now,
let's not touch
but
it.
by the time you do a coffee and the person is like, it's so expensive. Where like you forgot that when you buy apple on its own and you buy grapes on its own. So yes. And then I still need to do the yogurt part of it. That yes. So
All that.
so accumulated, it's
Oh, we are forgetting granola. So, because some people will also talk, oh, you're not adding enough granola. It costs the prices up. Even if you had to, I've seen people say, oh, you can make it at home. There's just a slight difference. There's a reason why you keep patronizing the brands you do, and there's a reason why you enjoy what it is they make. It's not like you can make it at home. I'm not saying don't make it, because sometimes you're always cautious as well regarding the preservatives that are being used. But let's even talk about how it is with this new administration. Uh, at some point, we saw devaluation of the naira. Then fuel subsidy was removed. Running a business in as we can and under the circumstances, how did it impact your business? How did it impact your space? Because in food, it's a whole different ballgame.
Um, it did impact us. It kept us on our toes, especially even for supply chain.
Okay.
Getting the products across. So we supply over 200 stores in Lagos, and obviously the subsidy removal would have affected buying petrol and all of that.
Nothing.
It affected the cost of the product because that has an implication on the cost of the product, layered with the inflation, layered with forex. So having to explain to customers, or especially in the stores, every time you want to do a new supply, is like our prices have changed. Here's the new price list.
Oh, yes.
Yes. But I think many times they give the upcoming business owners more hassle than the established guys because they feel like, are you not doing it in your house? And it's like, no, it's an actual business. It's not, I'm not doing it at my, because they expect that your operation cost. So we always have to explain to them that we actually have a factory and there's a cost of operations that goes into this. So when prices of petrol goes up, diesel in the office and all the things go up, some of the machines run on that based on the wattage. There's the van that needs to go out for deliveries and all of that costs. So people complain, they grumble, but they still buy. So sometimes I think of myself as a consumer as well. I get to the store, I see something slightly higher. Right. But if I really want it, I'll pick it. So it's how to ensure that we communicate and manage our consumers. Price of milk, for example, last year to this year doubled. We didn't double our price. We increased it. We literally didn't double because we're also being mindful. Okay. But I think if consumers are we're all living in Nigeria together. You might be buying my product doesn't mean I'm not.
No one else isn't.
Yeah, or doesn't mean even I am a consumer. So we're all hit by the same reality. Food generally is expensive. So sometimes I wonder even the people who buy Indomie, the price of Indomie, the price of egg. I'm like, so how are people? So We
So
offer
noodles used to be like the cheapest thing. You have noodles, you had bread, you had um groceries, which is Gary, by the way.
oh, this is Gary.
Oh yes, groceries is Gary. It's the funkified way of referencing.
Thanks for
Oh my goodness. So you have all that. It used to be very affordable,
telling.
and they say affordable to its relative. So you could get that, but now it costs a pretty sum. Now I've actually tasted Gary ice cream. It actually tastes good.
Oh, interesting.
It was homemade, but don't ask how. But it was interesting. So we can imagine if the right, so it just shows that with how innovative people get,
Mm.
you have to also factor in all this raw materials. Everything's going to go up.
Yeah. So even people, your staff, how are they going to get to work? Can the salary still take them to work?
Mm.
Because whatever you're paying them might not be able to sustain them anymore because that's the reality. So we needed to up
Salaries as well.
in fact we started with doing like a transport uh, buffer, like over and above the salary. This is a buffer for transportation because that's the reality. Like they can't kill themselves, but they want to come to work. So those are the things, but those costs need to come from somewhere.
Indeed. Indeed. And that is what businesses have to face. But now that we've seen some sort of stability when it comes to the currency, now I think it's about 1,500 to the
500, yeah.
dollar. So does it have any impact? Has it? You need to see the eye rolling in a sense.
So it should, has it? Well, I haven't seen much.
Okay.
I think we have something where in Nigeria where prices
It
go
goes up
up,
and it never
it
comes
never
down.
comes
I still
down.
don't understand
Yes,
that.
so it doesn't come down. So I don't, sitting here, I can't think of any raw material we have that has come down. Even the ones where we buy from people who import, I don't know, nothing has come down.
That actually.
Unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately. And I think we'll see that even the things. So with this now, ideally we should go into the stores and
Mhm.
everything should come down.
Mhm.
I doubt it.
Anyways, you're tuning into Business Happy on 98.1. And yes, we're talking about food business, especially if you're into those healthy ones. My guest is Bimpe Osanyintuyi, and she is the founder and managing director of DiosDlite Foods. And it's an amazing conversation we've been having so far. If you have questions, if you're, someone who's in the health food sector, and you're looking at things you want to improve, you have contributions as well. What you can do is share your thoughts with us on WhatsApp. The number is 0911 999 0981. Love to take your thoughts there. So let's talk about healthy foods. I know that is that's the in thing right now for a lot of Nigerians. And some have said that healthy eating or, certain things are seasonal. So how does that affect you who's, um, trying to make sure that, okay, this is do you do that? Is it every season you're looking at what would supplement your business, or do you have a way of making sure you have it year round?
So I think the seasonality affects us. Maybe not as much, but it does. Because I'll give the Greek yogurt for example. It's
Mhm.
cold.
Right.
So if it's raining and it's a cold period, it's likely that you will have that many people. Some people will still take it,
Mhm.
but people don't want to take something that's cold
That's
when it's
cold.
cold. So it does affect. So based on our trends over the years, so whenever we're planning for the year, we actually look back to say what are the seasonalities that occur in our brand and
Okay.
take notes of, why we think that is so that we can preempt it the next year. So
Mm.
what we try to do in those periods is either we look for promotions around there
Um,
encourage you to buy in that period,
okay.
just to ginger you a bit to buy in that
Mhm.
period. where we think we would likely get lower sales. We also have a range of other products that are complementary to be enjoyed with the Greek yogurts, from
Right.
dried cranberries to coconut flakes to granolas. So those typically go up as well. So we try to benchmark and ensure that it's consistent across the year, but it might be contribution from different products.
Okay, so now even like that, you said you mentioned fruits. How is it? Do you source the fresh one and do the dry, or do you source dry ones yourself, or do you try to make you source the fresh one and then dry them out yourself? That that is a process.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, trust me. What I'm asking this because I'm wondering how do you get to manage with the for some people who are uh, living on who have to use power. So in your business, I know some people are off grid. Are you planning to do that, or is that do you also supplement that with your regular with the regular power? And I don't know. Hopefully, you're not on band A with the band aid.
No, no, we're gladly not on band A. We're gladly not on band A. So we're not off grid.
Okay.
Um, and we intend to, but the cost I think mainly because of the machines and I think the cold storage that we have, the cold room, um, based on the what it consumes, it's going to be quite a big need. But is it in? Are we thinking about it? 100%, 100%.
Right.
It's a project that we want to embed or come on once we get it right. But are we managing at the moment? Oh yeah, we're doing pretty okay.
Wow.
Yeah, we're doing pretty okay. With the distribution of how we use power and all of that. And luckily we're not on band A, so it's not that bad. I might be saying something different if we're on band A, but we're not.
Okay.
Because storage for a dairy business is critical.
Very.
So when you talked on fuel subsidy and all of that, you know, if you have a situation where there's no light or you didn't buy the order, just go to power. There are times where you've not had light for 2 to 3 days and you're powering because the cold room was not be hot.
It will definitely affect product
So it will
produce.
affect, yes.
Okay, so here's the major one. You've been in this for 10 solid years, especially for a business in Nigeria. That can have not been easy.
Oh,
I want to know, is it that you had the right strategy or was it planning? Also factoring your staff. You know, you said at some point you had to increase your, their pay. So what has helped you be consistent in your business this long?
so I would say, first of all, it's having a plan,
Okay.
having a projection backed with research. Like, who's going to buy this product? Who's my audience? How am I going to reach out to? So it's as simple as having a business plan. And I'm not saying of a 10-page business plan. A simple one that just tells me, who do I want to sell this product to? Where am I going to find them? How am I going to reach them? At what cost do I want to sell it? And how am I going to get money? Sikena. Once you have that plan, then you have something driving you like a Bible to say, what did I say I was going to do? And you go back to it and try and get it done. If you layer that with a projection to say, if I'm able to do this, I believe I can do 10 bowls today, 20 bowls next month, and do this and all of that. So just have a plan. Then you need people. No man is an island. You can't do it all by yourself. How you treat your staff is critical. Now, would you get some staff that have their own issues? Definitely. Come to the game. We've had some of them. But at the same time, I've had fantastic support with some of my staff. And I say it all the time that I can't do it by myself. So people who hold the fort and do what needs to be done. So I've had staff that have been with me for 10 years, for 9 years, for 7 years. And
they've taken it more like
so, yes, so they're
business as well.
literally part of the business. Over and beyond that, how do you treat them? So I always say in the beginning, I wasn't paying so well because we were not earning well either. So it was like, let's do this thing together. But over and beyond the salary, how do you treat them? How do you communicate with them? Even when they are not delivering, you need to remember that they don't have the same vision as you. They don't have the same understanding. They don't have the same drive. So you need to provide adequate information that allows them to get into your space to be able to deliver what you want. So if you tell someone to just go do something, they will do it based on their understanding because they don't have the same driving force that you've had that gingered you up to do your business. They are just there to do a task and they do it based on their understanding. So understanding and managing your staff and carrying them along. I think a lot of business owners are a bit weary to share information to say, I don't want them to know too much. There's nothing they can do. Yeah. But like, how do they understand the reason why you're asking them to do it or to even use their initiative to deliver if they don't really understand what you know? It's only you that's privy to that information. Right. Then it's going to be difficult for them to deliver the way they want it because there's no substance to it. It's just a tick box task. So you won't get the value. And then it frustrates both parties. Oh, yeah. What I used to say is even working in corporate, they didn't hide information from you. When you went to work, you saw the P&L, you saw the book, just deliver your task. And if you didn't, there were structures in place to let you know your performance improvement plan because you're not delivering your task. So having that structure. So from the get-go, I used to joke with my team in the beginning. I said, we're not a Yasikira shop in Ujolegba. We are running a structured business. Even if we are three, we are going to run things properly. I said that all the time. I said, we are not just going to do shady jobs. We're going to follow processes. We're going to do this even when we were three. And I think that has helped to say, okay, this business seems like they're different. So if you've come from somewhere where everything was like a decimal and your boss was shouting at you today and flung a paper at you tomorrow, well, I don't do that. If I'm unhappy with you, we follow our process. We either let you go, we'll do this, and everybody goes their different ways. So I think that structure helped a lot of the people adjust because I worked with a lot of first-time employees. So having to change the mindset was a lot of work. Um, and but the patience, I always I don't have patience anymore, but the patience I had then, like I was ready to coach them and explain to them to say, this is what is obtainable. Corporate, this is how things are done properly. You know, this is what would make you grow. And for those that were able to absorb and were patient, they are still with us today and they're growing in their different roles and it's showing. So I think how you treat your staff is key. Ensure that you equip them to be able to deliver so that expectations are managed.
Great stuff. Yeah. You know, they say when you're having great conversation, time goes. Well, we've gone past a certain threshold. But yes, before we wrap things up, how can Lagos reach out to you? They have questions, they need guidance. Someone's looking at starting the same, maybe the same business, but or looking for a path, direction. How can they reach out to you to get more insights? Or they even want to patronize your business? Where do they go on social media if that's available for them to reach out
So
to?
on social media, you can reach out to us at DiosDlite. So it's DiosDlite. You can reach out to us, send us a DM. Our WhatsApp number is there. You can also buy our products in any of the major retailers, Spar, Blanco, Jendo, Super Saver, and all the major retailers. But for inside conversations on, on how I can help you or give insight on how to better your business, you can send an email to ask.adebimps@gmail.com. So that's ask.adebimps@gmail.com. And my Instagram page is adebimps as well.
Okay, there you go. That's so much we can take. It's been a great conversation. I've had a lot of fun. I don't know about you, but as you know, there's always more to come through. So if